Hello everyone. In the last video I had started unit ANS. Uh, so I had explained ANS is divided into two categories, sympathetic and parasympathetic. Sympathetic is related to your fight or flight response, and parasympathetic is related to your rest and digest process. Means if something horrible thing come in front of your eyes, at that time sympathetic division will be activated, and if you are watching movie and you are in the mood of rest, then parasympathetic activity will be activated. So now we will see what is the meaning of the neurotransmitter. As I mentioned earlier, ANS is all about transmission of nerve impulse. So whenever there will be transmission of impulse from one nerve to another nerve, there must be presence of neurotransmitter so that nerve impulse can be transmitted from one end to another end. So neurotransmitter basically plays a role of bridging between the two nerves. Like if I will ask you a simple question, what are the message transmitter which are present in your mobile, then you can say WhatsApp, Gmail, Facebook, Messenger. All these are example of message transmitter. In the similar way, in our body many type of neurotransmitter are also present. So basically there are two type of neurotransmitter. First one is adrenergic neurotransmitter, which is related to sympathetic flow, and second one is cholinergic neurotransmitter, which is related to parasympathetic flow. That means if sympathetic division will be activated at that time, this neurotransmitter will act as a bridge between two nerves, and whenever there is a parasympathetic division will be activated, then this cholinergic neurotransmitter will help in transmission of nerve impulses. Now we will see the examples of different neurotransmitter. There are three examples of adrenergic neurotransmitter: norepinephrine, epinephrine and dopamine. But among these three, epinephrine is predominant. The another name of norepinephrine is noradrenaline, and epinephrine is also known as adrenaline. And cholinergic neurotransmitter, only one and very prominent, acetylcholine, is a example of cholinergic neurotransmitter. Now we will see how these neurotransmitter help in the transmission of nerve impulses. As I had explained in the previous video, whenever there will be sympathetic or parasympathetic division will be activated, it will stimulate preganglionic fiber, and that will further stimulate postganglionic fiber by passing through the ganglion, and postganglionic fiber will show its effect on effector. So there must be the presence of neurotransmitter at step number 1 and at step number 2, so that the nerve impulse can be transmitted from preganglionic fiber to postganglionic fiber and from postganglionic fiber to effector. So let us see that diagram again. See here, this blue color are preganglionic fiber, and here there are different kind of ganglia are present, which act as synapse. Synapse means connection between two nerves or two fibers. So this is the connection between the preganglionic fiber and postganglionic fiber. When it will reach this ganglia, it will stimulate a postganglionic fiber, and postganglionic fiber will terminate to respective organ, whether eye, heart or whatever. So basically ganglia act as a junction. So some nerve fibers can directly terminate in the synapse, terminate in the ganglia, and will pass to the effector, or some nerve fiber will passes to one or two ganglia, and then it will terminate its action to the effector. Similarly, if I will take the example, some students are coming by train to our college. So some are directly reach to our college without taking any train. Here this adrenal medulla, Okay, it is not passing through any ganglia. It is just it will be directly reaching to this adrenal medulla, and this neurotransmitter will be released in the blood. And if we will see the other examples, suppose this student is coming through this Kurla junction and it is reaching to our college, and some students, suppose they are changing 2 or 3 trains through Thane, and then again some other station, and then coming to college. So this is basically an example of a network of all fibers together. So for the transmission of one signal, there must be presence of preganglionic fiber, then ganglion, and postganglionic fiber, as explained now only. So there must be presence of neurotransmitter at step 1 and at step 2. So now we will see which type of neurotransmitter are present under parasympathetic and sympathetic. So under parasympathetic, at step 1, acetylcholine act as a neurotransmitter, as well as at step 2, acetylcholine act as a neurotransmitter. Under sympathetic division, at step 1, acetylcholine act as a neurotransmitter, but at step 2, near to effect are either the norepinephrine is released or acetylcholine is released in very minor quantity. Predominantly norepinephrine is released. Now we will see the diagram of parasympathetic outflow. It is also considered as a craniosacral outflow because it is related to the cranial nerves number 3, 7, 9 and 10, and sacral nerves. The sympathetic outflow was considered as thoracolumbar outflow because it was related to thoracic and lumbar region, and parasympathetic outflow is considered as craniosacral outflow because it is related to cranial nerves and the sacral nerves. Now if we will see the length of the preganglionic fiber in parasympathetic, it is quite long as compared to sympathetic division. This all blue color, dark blue color is preganglionic fiber, and these are the different ganglia, and after ganglia this postganglionic fiber are present. Now if you will see the rest of the diagram, there are no broken lines. So the postganglionic neuron is in the wall of the structure itself. That's why the length of the postganglionic fiber in parasympathetic division is short. See here, preganglionic fiber is quite short in the length as compared to postganglionic fiber in case of sympathetic division. This broken line or dotted line shows postganglionic fiber length. The same comparison is given in K.D. Tripathi on page number 93. Here, parasympathetic, if you will see, the length of the preganglionic fiber is quite long and the postganglionic fiber is quite short, and under sympathetic the length of the preganglionic fiber is short and the length of the postganglionic fiber is quite long, and the neurotransmitter, as explained by me, at junction 1 will be acetylcholine only in case of parasympathetic and sympathetic, but near to effect are, in case of parasympathetic it will be acetylcholine, but in case of sympathetic it may be noradrenaline or norepinephrine or acetylcholine, and adrenaline directly in the bloodstream through adrenal medulla. Now we will see the different action of the parasympathetic nervous system. This action are opposed to that of the sympathetic division. So in sympathetic division the heart rate normally increases, so there will be decrease in the rate and force of contraction, heart rate. So if we will remember any one activity, just remember the another one is opposite to that, and if you will remember this pharmacological action here only, then it is easy for you to explain the each drug classification and its pharmacological action afterwards. So I will recommend you to make this chart in your notebook and just go through once or twice in a day regularly. So this was all about parasympathetic neurotransmission. In the next lecture, we will talk about adrenergic and cholinergic receptor in detail. Thank you.